You know what? I am quite happy with where I am in my career today. I think I'm really proud of myself. However, this journey was not easy. It has impacted my mental health, my personal health, and even sometimes my personal relationship. And I wish I had known these harsh truths about career growth at the start of my career so that I was prepared for it. And probably my journey would have been smoother and a little bit easier. Hence, I wanted to share these things with you guys so that you are better prepared for this journey and you can use these 10 truths to multiply your growth and to move ahead in your career. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Learning Series. Let's go! The first truth is how people perceive you counts. You have to create your brand in the organization. If you have same attributes, skill, knowledge like every other guy or girl in the office, you're very easy to replace. So from the very start of your career, try to build your brand value. It could be the unique skill you have, the unique system or technology that you know about. It could be your personality, the way you engage people, the way you interact and entertain people. It could be anything. So in your job, intentionally work on building that perception, building your personal brand. Especially in consulting, one thing that is definitely discussed in your performance management is what is your brand value? What is it that you're bringing to the table? How different and unique it is from what everybody else is bringing to table. The second thing is hard work is not enough. You might be working really hard and putting a lot of efforts and working late in the night, but if you're not working on right things at right time with the right people and creating that visibility, your efforts are not counted. And this has happened with my friends, people who were really hardworking and putting a lot of efforts and doing genuine work, but they were still replaced because the work that they were doing was not important enough for the organization. So don't just do the hard work, do the smart work. The next thing is who you know beats what you know. Yeah. I know, especially for people who find it difficult to form network, this might be a little bit harsh. But building network, nurturing network, having the support of the strong, influensive people around you is important. But that doesn't mean you have to force it. I remember when I just started this consulting job, I used to forcefully interact with MDs or senior manager because I was seeing that how other analysts were doing, and I used to feel so angry on myself because I was not good at it. But over the time, realized there are certain kind of people that I vibe with, and there's certain ways I build network. For me, it is by doing good work. For other people, it could be by talking to them. Whatever your way is, it's fine, but you have to put effort in building that network. The right feedback is critical for your growth. In India, I feel we don't have this culture of feedback. We have culture of complaints. Whenever somebody give us a feedback, we either become defensive or we become dejected because we feel that they are questioning our ability and they are finding flaws in our work. But you have to understand that feedback not necessarily is negative all the time. Feedback could be constructive. Feedback is something that you need to get at every point in your career so that you know what you're doing wrong and you can improve and become better version of yourself. If people don't tell you what you're doing wrong, you will continue doing it wrong. But the second part, learn to filter out the feedback. Not every feedback is constructive, not everyone give feedback from a positive mindset. Not every feedback is coming from a right place. So whenever somebody is giving you feedback, you have to learn to filter out that what is for your growth and what is just out of their insecurities. While asking for feedback and getting a lot of feedback is going to be critical for your career, filtering out that feedback is going to be critical for your mental health. Careers aren't straight line. You're not gonna have amazing performance back to back. You're not gonna have successful project back to back. You're not gonna get amazing and positive feedback in every project. And it is very difficult for people to understand who've been overachiever in their life because they feel your path or your career journey should always go like this. But it's not going to go like this, because in your career, if there are 30% or 40% of things within your control, 60% of things are out of your control that can impact your career. And how you bounce back from these setbacks or failure decide how far you're going to go in your career. Balance isn't given, it is taken. You need to set strict boundaries, or other people will control your schedule for you. I remember in the second year of this consulting job, one of the HR, she told me that if instead of 24 hours you had 48 hours in a day, the company will take those 48 hours if you're not strict with your boundaries. You need to decide how much time you want to invest in your job and how much time you want to save for other things in your life. It is not about how much hours you put, it is about how effectively you work, how productively you work, how well you delegate. You also have to understand that work is just one pillar of your life, and there are 3 to 4 other pillars that needs to be balanced for a happy, healthy and peaceful life. You are replaceable at work, not home. In 20 years, the only people who will remember you work late are your kids. And it is so true, right? You can give everything to a company, you can give everything to your job, you still be replaceable. If tomorrow something happens to you, God forbid, if you become sick, and if you're not able to work anymore, if you're not able to think, the company will replace you within seconds. It won't stop doing the job, it won't stop functioning or stop creating profit just because one person got sick or just because one person is having a hard time in life. It is only a family that is going to be really affected by this. So when you're right, when you're healthy, when you have the ability, care about them instead of just caring about your work. And hence the next thing is, time is far scarcer than money. You can always re-earn the money, but not time. Time that has gone. Nobody can get it back. Hence, be very stingy with your time. You need to be very aware of where you're spending your time, what kind of people you're spending your time with, how much time you're spending on things that are helping you in growth versus the things that are just pulling you down or things that are just creating negative impact on your career. For me, I think this is my guru month. From the very early on, I've been very protective of my time. I know within seconds that is this serving me, serving in my growth? If not, then I need to move on and find something to be productive, to work on myself instead of wasting my time. The next thing is, you have to be self-advocate. Speak up for what you need. Speak up when you need help, because silence means everything is going perfectly fine. And I learned this very hard way. I think a lot of time we really feel ashamed of asking help, because we feel if we ask for help, people might think that we're not good enough at this job. So we don't outrightly ask for help, but we might drop hints. We might show, oh, I'm very stressed, oh, it is too much. Everywhere else around the world, if you don't outrightly raise your hand and say, I need help, no matter how many hints you drop, people will assume that you're doing a great job and they will expect you to deliver perfectly at the end of the day. And then at the time of delivery, you can't say, oh, but I was struggling. The first question would be, why didn't you ask or raise your hand when you were struggling? So always raise your hands, be a self-advocate. If you need anything, if you need any kind of help, if you have any point of view, say it. The last thing is, comfort kills progress. In your job, any kind of job, you will only grow if you take risk. If you say yes to opportunities which makes you go out of your comfort zone. Because as I say in my every video, growth starts when you step out of your comfort zone, not when you play safe. And there were so many situations in my life when I've said yes and I've really struggled and I've stretched myself because I thought that I won't be able to do this. It is so unknown to me. Everything is so uncertain. But in the end, I was able to deliver it. And if I look back, these projects where, they really stretched me and where I had to step out of my comfort zone, in these projects, my learning has been 10 times. My growth has been 10 times. And it has made me so strong, so resilient that now whatever people throw at me, I'm like, I can do this. I've done worst. A lot of time, our growth is hindered by our fear. The fear of unknown, the fear of uncertain. the fear of failure. Even whenever you are in this situation, just think, if there was no fear of failure, if I could do anything I want, what would I do? And then work from that mindset. When you step out of your comfort zone, having a good mental health and the ability to relax your mind is so important, because it could go either ways if you're not mentally strong and resilient. So in those situations, I would say that don't think about the result. Leave the result to universe, that your job here is just to do good job and move step by step, and however the result will be, universe will determine that, and whatever the result will be, it will be best for me. Just say this thing for your mental peace and your mental health, and do that job. Alright guys, those were the harsh career truth I wanted to share with you. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, then do subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comments what is the best truth that you like and what you're going to implement in your life. And I will see you in the next video of learning series or life lessons.